Eric Weinstein's on my radar. This is Eric Weinstein. Member, if you're not familiar, he's on with Lex Friedman a lot. One of these super intellectuals, smart dudes. That's all I know him as. Just like one of these smart dudes. Intellectual dark web, as coined by Barry Weiss. Honorary member, even though they broke up. He said, in case my position hasn't been clear on the C-19, we need institutions of public health. Full stop. I agree. Yeah, it would be nice for our country to have an institution of public health. Now, we need to get rid of the conflict of interest, but yeah, and just that, absolutely. What's more, we need emergency powers to defeat horrifying pandemics like Black Plague. No, we don't, Eric. No, we don't. No, we don't. Why do we need emergency powers? The government can still act. The legislation can still make laws. We have communications. Like, what is the scenario that something comes up and legislators can't? I mean, some of these laws are some of the rules that they do in the state and federal. They have to make the rules every year in January for the federal season, and sometimes they might say, "Well, you can't vote unless you're in person." So I don't know what the virtual rules are, but with the technology we have, there's no excuse. We could do a group text, we could do a Microsoft Teams, we could do a Zoom. I mean, it's not hard. In the case that we are really in a bad scenario and there's no internet, well, may God help us all. At that point, if things are so bad that it is an alien invasion or something that took down the internet and the whole country, God bless us. Emergency orders that's not what we're going to be worried about. Of course, I agree with this. On the flip side, you cannot have Ouchie and these others in the regime because it destroys trust. Agreed there, Eric. Here's what I'll be honest, it triggered me. It triggered me just a little bit. Is it okay to get triggered every once in a while? If you think these guys isn't an unmitigated disaster for trust in public health going forward, please note the large number of respondents who believe that there should be no situation whatsoever in which government should have power to combat even a true plague. Eric, it really has nothing to do with these guys. No, let me say this. The conflicts of interest and the way these guys have acted has not helped. I will give you that, but it wouldn't matter to me. I like that Eric was respectful because he got a lot of pushback on this. He was just like, respectfully, I disagree. Just like if we disagree here, and he did the same thing. So I really respect that. It wasn't like a contentious thing. Then somebody followed up and said, if some people think that there can be no possible public health policy measures during even an infectious zombie apocalypse, they're just not thinking like adults. Richard, if there's a zombie apocalypse, we don't need the government. We're hunkered in our house. We're going to have our tools needed to fight it. What do we need the government for? I mean, I want the government to still act and try to do what they do, but we don't need government more. Like, for example, if there's a zombie apocalypse, do you need the government to tell you to stay inside your house? I mean, come on. I'm not Bobo the Clown. I'm not a fool. I'll understand the same. I don't need the government to mandate that or tell me that. So I just had to come up and say the government should never had any power. Well, this is poorly worded. The government does have power to violate the constitutional rights, but they shouldn't. The government should never have any power to violate our constitutional rights. I don't care if it's aliens invading or a real plague. Why is this hard to understand? If we don't have rights under those scenarios, then we don't have rights at all.